On Thursday, September 5th, 2024, the Integrity Commission submitted an investigation report, ruling, and special report to Parliament concerning an investigation into my statutory declarations for the year 2021. The reports have now been tabled, and I have since had a chance to read the concluding paragraphs of the ruling of the Director of Corruption Prosecution, the 5-page summary, and peruse the recommendations and conclusions. While acknowledging that the report together totals just under 200 pages, the parts that I have read appear to give a sufficient sense of the findings. First, I welcome the fact that the report is finally tabled 2 years since this process began. I also take note of the fact that the Commission tabled both the report and the ruling of the Director of Corruption Prosecution at the same time. The last time this was not done. Based on what is said in the summary, queries were triggered because it is alleged that I had omitted bank accounts from my declarations, and one of these accounts was incorrectly reported as a US dollar balance by a financial institution. These matters were cleared as the accounts in question, by my recollection, were dormant, previously reported, and the balance in them were around Jamaican $3,000 and 200 euros. Subsequently, my declarations were once again referred for further scrutiny for accuracy and completeness. Other accounts were identified and alleged to be belonging to me, but undeclared. Some of these accounts were opened by my parents as far back as 1975, and my name later added, probably while I was still a child. Many Jamaicans add their children to their accounts for survivorship reasons and in the event of emergencies. I have never claimed these as my assets, and I am satisfied that the Director of Corruption Prosecution ruled that there was insufficient evidence to support claims that I intentionally omitted bank accounts from my declarations, and that there is greater evidence to support my explanation as opposed to evidence to the contrary. I also note that no other matter in the report was referred to the authorized authority, that is, the Director of Corruption Prosecution. The summary of the report outlined that my personal financial affairs from 2018 to 2023 was examined, including associate private third-party businesses and transactions. Over 3,600 transactions were examined, 28 bank accounts, over 80 witness statements collected. This effort to pursue me and my affairs led to the hiring of an international forensic accounting examiner for 6 months. As far as I am aware, only my 2021 declaration was submitted for investigation. After this most thorough interrogation of my personal affairs, which is not in any way connected to public funds or a benefit resulting from my office, they were unable to conclude regarding illicit enrichment. Nonetheless, they concluded that in one of the 5 years they examined, 2022, there was unexplained growth in my net worth of 1.9 million Jamaican dollars, or less than 1% of my total net assets. I reject this finding based on materiality and significance, and while I have not had a chance to fully review the specifics of their calculations, just a cursory review of their formula I have seen an error in figures they have used in their calculations. And therefore, I challenge this finding on incorrect use of data. I reject the finding that I acquired an asset for which the source of funds is not adequately explained. The Commission, in its own report, pointed out that this whole episode started with an incorrect statement from a bank. It started with an incorrect statement from a bank. A bank gave a balance verification that I had funds in US dollars, which was incorrect. So too was the asset in question, the subject of errors by the financial institution that managed the asset. While I authorized the transaction, from the outset of the acquisition of the asset in 2019, I was unaware that the financial institution had assigned an amount in error to my account from an associated company. A year later, the investment instrument, a bond, was called by the issuer, and the financial institution made another error and pooled my funds with the associated company. As soon as I discovered this pooling, which is acknowledged in the report, I alerted the institution and instructed that the accounts be correctly separated. However, the initial incorrect assignment was not corrected at that time. I only became aware of the discrepancy when the institution alerted me in June of this year, and once it was brought to my attention, the funds incorrectly assigned to my account in 2019 was rectified. I also reject claims in the report that I have hindered the examination of my declarations by not supplying information requested. Let it be known that I have complied with any obligation placed on me within the law. As far as I am aware, the company with which I am directly associated is compliant and up to date with its filings. Mr. Speaker, I have been involved in political life for more than 30 years. Yes, more than 30 years. And I have been elected in this House for 27 years. It always gives me a sense of great pride, but also a sense of humility to consider that, I grew up in a 2-bedroom board house at 56 Cumberland Road, just up from the Grassyard Market in Spanish Town. I don't wear my background as a badge or try to exploit it or exploit my humble beginnings for political sympathy. I don't do it. I don't do it because I believe in working for what you have, regardless of where you come from. And Mr. Speaker, I have worked hard. I have worked hard, wisely, and honestly to achieve whatever I have. I never had a gold spoon, and I have never depended on the public purse. Indeed, I gave up my salary. I gave up the salary due, the salary increase due to prime ministers, in solidarity with all the people who are challenged to make ends meet with their own incomes. I didn't take it and pretend to give it to entities that are in my interest anyway. No. On principle, I didn't take it. I have the privilege, I consider it a privilege, Mr. Speaker, and awesome responsibility of leading this country, and I take it seriously. Regardless of the attempts to distract me and unnecessarily consume my time, I have never lost focus on ensuring a stable, resilient, and growing economy, reducing unemployment, improving our security as a nation, building out our infrastructure, and providing support for the most vulnerable in our society. Furthermore, I've always sought to discharge my duties with respect and dignity, even for those who try to bring me down and do personal harm to my reputation. The weaponization of accusations of corruption is nothing new in politics. However, even the most skeptical onlooker must conclude that the handling of this matter, the time it has taken, the public resources used to pursue it, raise cause for concern on many levels. While I will not pursue the view that this was politicized, I believe it is commonly agreed that the law governing the Integrity Commission is in urgent need of revision. The current context of its operations does weaken its credibility, and we must do everything to ensure that the appropriate laws are in place to prevent the politicization of the Commission and to support the Commission in its work. We must also ensure that the Commission itself is efficient and pays due regard to the use of public funds and the time and resources required of public officials to comply. To this end, the law must ensure that the work of the Commission focuses on relevant, significant, and material issues. Mr. Speaker, I will take legal advice on this report and its recommendations, including recommendations for referral to other entities. And Mr. Speaker, I will continue to pray to God for guidance and strength as I continue to lead Jamaica.
If you cliff Hughes, because I'm not going to do the things that you do, I'm maintaining my dignity over here. You need, Mr. Hughes, to come forward and apologize to the Jamaican people. You know, and if our Prime Minister and the top brass leaders of the JLP values the Jamaican grassroots voters, they would come out and address that matter as well. Because apparently, Cliff Hughes is ranting on your behalf, Mr. JLP. Cliff Hughes is a walking billboard for the JLP, and that's fine. Cliff Hughes is a paid marketing agent for the JLP, and that's fine. Cliff Hughes is a paid brand ambassador for the JLP, and that's fine. That's fine. What we're in disagreement with, Mr. JLP, Mr. Cliff Hughes, we are in disagreement, and our grievance is based on the way you address the gentlemen as though they are nothing. Okay? That's where our problem lies. If you Cliff Hughes, because I'm not going to do the things that you do, I'm maintaining my dignity over here. You need, Mr. Hughes, to come forward and apologize to the Jamaican people. You don't even have to apologize. Say for instance, you have perfect personal conflicts with the gentleman. Namely Buju Banton, Vybz Kartel, L.A. Lewis, Chief Curry, whomever you may have a problem with, right? Exactly. But if all the Maroon of Farm Alliance, watch this now. If Cliff Hughes, if you love the Jamaican people, if you love your job, if you value your reputation, out and clarify the rank that you're at. And in fact, the people that you represent, the JLP, if I was Mr. Andrew Holness, I would come forward, I personally would come forward, and I would address the matter, and I would apologize to my voting population on behalf of Mr. Cliff Hughes. Not only that, these artists in Jamaica, at this present moment, the biggest artist in Jamaica is Vybz Kartel. Who wants to contest that? Contest it. The biggest artist in Jamaica right now is Vybz Kartel. The most influential artist in Jamaica right now is Vybz Kartel. The most valuable artist in Jamaica right now is Vybz Kartel. Now, let me ask you, Mr. Jamaican singer and DJ and dancehall personnel.
Screen turned off.
Big of you, big up. Let me ask all the so-called bad.
Screen turned off.
Big of you, big up. Let me ask all the so-called bad artists and top artists and trending artists in Jamaica. Let me ask all the top artists in Jamaica a question, right? Let me ask you guys a question. Who is the biggest artist in Jamaica right now? Isn't it Vybz Kartel? You would agree, yes. Okay, then if the JLP can treat the most influential, the most valuable, and the biggest artist in Jamaica the way that they treated him on Sunday, why would you as a Jamaican artist think they would treat you differently? Tell me. Tell me, why would you think that they would treat you any differently? So I dare you, Jamaican artists. It can't be the real cartel, for real. For real. Watch this now. These artists in Jamaica, people will need 25,000 likes in the next 90 seconds. A minute and a half for 5,000 likes. You can do it. Nick, you good? Any artist, better yet, we are going to not show known as cartel, then I'm going to treat you. Alright. Any artist in Jamaica right now who thinks he or she is more influential than Vybz Kartel in this present moment, or you are more valuable than Vybz Kartel in this big moment, or you think you can pull a bigger audience than Vybz Kartel in this moment, challenge me. Then, if they can treat Vybz Kartel, how was he treated? Okay, I guess you just came in. Cliff Hughes, and Nationwide, yesterday, spoke about Vybz Kartel as that. He ranted about Vybz Kartel, Chief Curry, Buju Banton and all these people who were at the PNP conference on Sunday. And he did not once in his rant refer to Vybz Kartel by name. He referred to the gentleman as that person, that, it. How do you as a dignified human being refer to another human being as it or that? So, if no one artist in Jamaica can walk close to Kartel where fan base is concerned, why do you think they do that to Kartel and can't do it to them? But yet these very same artists, for likes, will jump up and sing dub prayer for them when election time come around. Now explain that to me. Explain that to me. How does that make sense? How does that make sense? Very out of place. Bigger Vybz, the man was so rude. He was, and again, you know, we respect Cliff Hughes. We rate Cliff, just like I told you, we rate Andrew Holness. This has nothing to do with anything negative. It's just that you guys as leaders are not setting the right example for the nation. Why would you refer to Vybz Kartel as that person? That. You ranted. You ranted about the man. And you never once called him by his name. Totally unacceptable. Now, if the JLP values the Jamaican voting population, which is 95% poor grassroots Jamaican people, make my friend apologize. And Mr. Andrew Holness as the Prime Minister, the head of the stream, the top brass leadership, you should apologize on behalf of your party, even if you guys had nothing to do with what Cliff Hughes did and said. Because unless you guys apologize, there is no need to think that those artists in Jamaica should support your party. There is no way these artists in Jamaica should support your party. There is no way the poor Jamaican people should go out there and vote on behalf of JLP. Remember, no can't win no election in Uptown alone. You guys, not the PNP, not the JLP, none of you guys can win an election without the average Jamaican citizens. So why is it that you look down on these people? Why is it to treat these people as though they are nothing? Vybz Kartel has his money. Vybz Kartel has his statute. He has his social status. He does not need politics. You understand? Alright, Douglas, I wish you would come stop this voice. You understand? I won't pay you any more mind. You can get off my life and go where you belong. I talk to my people. Cliff Hughes is rude. You bring classism into politics. Remember, you know, that's the same thing they did with Wayne Marshall. They bestowed all that distinction upon Wayne Marshall for what? Nothing. Nothing. Look at Caesar, look at Highway, look at Sanchez, look at Leroy Sibbles, look at Marcia Griffiths, look at Freddie McGregor, look at so many, I can call 500 artists who should have been in front of Wayne Marshall for OD, but they didn't get it. But what? You gave to your friend and no one complained about it. You were all up in arms because, yeah, that's our boy, go Wayne, go Tommy, go Wayne. Classism at its best. Mad Max, leave him alone. We not pay him no mind because he's not one of us. He's not for the people. He's not for Jamaica. He's not pro-Jamaica. He's anti-unity. He's anti-growth, anti-success. Wayne Marshall did nothing for Jamaica. Nothing. Than showed that he prefers the lighter skin. That's it. Big up yourself, big up. You understand? That's it. He can go anywhere, Bounty. That's what I'm saying. Look, how would you feel? Anyone on this live who tell me that you will be happy if you are on this live and you can tell me that you will be happy to know that someone went on public radio and referred to you as that. Type yes. Type yes. Type yes. And if Cliff Hughes does not see where he blundered, because maybe he was not intentionally rude, maybe he was not intentionally, I don't know, maybe his intent was different from the impact, maybe. See him? So yeah, that's what Cliff Hughes said. He referred to Vybz Kartel as that person, that it. Not Vybz Kartel, not Adija, not the teacher, nothing. Vybz Kartel is currently the most influential person in the world. Not even Kamala Harris now touch youth right now. Black people in America now support Kamala Harris like how white people overseas support Vybz Kartel. I'm telling you that. Wayne Marshall is nowhere close to Terror Fabulous. Wayne Marshall is nowhere close to Mr. Easy, Daddy Screw, Daddy Lizard, Frisco Kid. I can go Mad Cabra. I can go on and on. I mean, not even talk about. Come on, man. Come on, man. When we talk, you know, we talk the truth. If you like it, you like it. And that is why someone came on here asking me, Vybz Kartel is king, saying that Cliff Hughes can talk to anyone anyhow he feels. And that is the Jamaica you want me to support. I'm not supporting that Jamaica. I am not. I am not in support of that Jamaica. So if that's the Jamaica you want me to support, you're wrong. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. I'm not going to support that Jamaica. Never. Never have and never will. How dare you? Big Cliff Hughes, man where everybody look up to and rate and respect and love, come on a public forum, come refer to a human being as that. I saw everything seriously. When the man spoke about Vybz Kartel, you could have seen the disgust on his face. You could have seen the disgust on his face. You could have seen the disgust on Cliff Hughes' face. No man, Cliff Hughes is a big journalist. Wendy, oh God. You have to give to Caesar what Hughes and to Caesar. Cliff Hughes is a great journalist, a big journalist. That doesn't mean he's morally good. Maybe, well, I don't know if it's the original cartel. People been saying these things, but I don't know. I really don't know. You know, it's just that I am not one who's gonna sit and defend slackness. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The cartel is gonna Cliff was so mad like that. I'm telling you, Fiona, when you look at the disgust on that man's face, you know, I was watching the video, I was like, no, this not good. This not good at all. This not good at all. Like, you could have seen the disgust on the man's face, like, that person, when they invited that person, I'm like, that person. That's how you address, or that's how you refer to a human being, Cliff Hughes? Delabe, big up. That's how you refer to a human being, Cliff Hughes? That's how you talk, that's how you speak on a national radio station? And that is what I'm saying, stamp code. That's why I say anybody in Jamaica right now who saw that video and go vote JLP without an apology from Chris Hughes and Andrew Holness who was sick. A matter of fact, on screen record again. 15 second time you start talking. Screen record this and fling this out there. Any Jamaican who saw the Cliff Hughes rant about Vybz Kartel and the other gentlemen who attended the PNP rally on Sunday and still go out and vote JLP without a public apology from Cliff Hughes and the upper brass of the Jamaica Labour Party who was sick. People, remember, you know, if you look at it right now, right? 95% of the Jamaican voting population are grassroots poor people. Struggling people who look rough like me every day and go to work. Many of us have 3-4 degrees, intelligent, bright, smart people. We choose to be entrepreneurs too. We choose to work hard. We choose not to be a slave to the system. Any well-thinking Jamaican right now who saw that video and are willing to tell me that they are willing to go vote JLP without an apology from Cliff Hughes and the top brass leadership of the Jamaica Labour Party was sick. And I'm not saying go vote PNP, so don't put that part in there. I am saying, even if you're a JLP supporter, you should be a dignified one. And at this moment, at this current moment, if you are a poor Jamaican, an average Jamaican, a lower class Jamaican, a middle class Jamaican who saw that video, you know, live uptown among the elites, you know, have the millions and have the big mansion with the Hawkeye securities and the fat Prada and Benz and JLEs park on your driveway. If you're one of those Jamaicans and you saw Cliff Hughes' rant on Sunday and you go out and vote JLP without a public apology from the JLP and Cliff Hughes, you're sick. You're sick. You are sick. If you are in agreement with what Cliff Hughes did and that rant on national radio, you're sick. You are sick. And this is nothing against the PNP. This is nothing against the JLP. This is nothing against Cliff Hughes. This is a stance against inhumane treatment. That's all it is. That's all it is. We will not sit and accept this type of treatment from people, not when the system depends on us. Like I said, if you guys refuse the 2,000 and 3,000, the Roman boom and the weed, when them go no figure vote, they will learn. Refuse it, don't go vote. And the dons in the communities, the generals, them take them money and vote either. Run them away and watch the change. And bag of flour. You understand? If you are a Jamaican right now and you go and vote JLP without a public apology from Cliff Hughes and the top brass of the Jamaica Labour Party, you're sick. And I'm not saying change your vote. I am not saying vote PNP. I am saying demand respect from the people who UNO give power to. Okay? Demand respect from the people who you give power to as a human being. Cliff Hughes, you're rude. Cliff Hughes, you have lost our respect. Cliff Hughes, you need to publicly address that rant. It is okay for everyone, including Cliff Hughes, to express his political preferences publicly. They may still vote JLP. You understand? J Rich, big up yourself. They may still vote, and I'm not saying change your vote. I'm not saying that. I am not saying that. What I am saying is, if you are the persons who put power in these people's hands, you are supposed to be demanding respect from them. They're supposed to respect you. Alright? They're supposed to respect you. Don't make them trick on you. If you look at that video with Cliff Hughes and did not feel some type of hurt in your heart, you don't love Jamaica.